Can you believe there's only 2 months left until Halloween? Neither can we, but the release of the spooky trailer for the final film in the David Gordon Green trilogy means that it's right around the corner. At a little over a minute long, the trailer hasn't given away too much, but so much at the same time. Don't you agree? Here are a few key moments that fans might have missed in the latest Halloween Ends trailer. First of all, the opening scene is a callback to the original film. The trailer opens from Michael Myers, or who we assume to be Michael Myers' point of view, as he makes his way up to a house nicely decorated for Halloween. This is clearly a tribute to the first movie, which of course also started out in the same way. Not only that, but the use of old-style instrumental music playing in the background definitively brings a nostalgic vibe and shows that this film is returning to its origins. Interestingly, this is actually something the creators of the franchise have mentioned before, that they'll be going back to the basics in the final installment of Halloween, considering that the previous movie, Halloween Kills, was a movie with an insanely over-the-top amount of, well, kills. We're glad they've made this decision, where Michael Myers is more of an ominous figure than someone who kills left and right. And that house is kind of familiar. Another interesting observation worth noting is the maroon house Michael makes his way up to in the beginning of the teaser. In the last movie, Halloween Kills, Laurie's house burnt down, leaving her homeless. As Halloween Ends is set 4 years after the previous movie, and the movie synopsis states that she's currently living with her granddaughter, it makes sense that Laurie would have found a new place to live during that time and that this was it. Of course, we can't entirely be sure, but one point worth noting is whoever it is, this house looks exactly like Rachel's house from Halloween 4, which was released in 1988. It's a subtle nod to the film, but definitely something Halloween diehards like us gobble up. Also, the Michael Myers at the start might actually be an imposter. Say what? At first glance, it definitely seems like we're in Michael Myers' shoes and entering what we assume to be Laurie's new house, considering her last one burnt down in the previous movie. But if you look just a little closer, you might realize that it's not actually him. Let us explain. First of all, as we're entering the house, the heavy breathing in the background doesn't really sound like Michael. It's pretty high-pitched and much lighter than Michael Castle's usual deeper breaths. The most damning evidence that it's not actually Michael, though, is when he enters the room Laurie is in. He moves toward the room, puts his hand on the door to open it, revealing 5 fingers. Last we remember, Michael had only 3 fingers on his left hand, and yet this one sports all 5 digits. Either the director made a huge mistake, or more likely, this is an allusion to the fact that this is actually a copycat killer. Or maybe, even just someone pretending to be Michael Myers in order to prank Laurie on Halloween. We can even prove that the director did not forget about Michael's missing fingers, as at the end of the teaser during Michael and Laurie's epic fight, Laurie slams her knife into his hand, and that hand has only 3 fingers. Need any more convincing? One suggestion is that the camera is flipped, and what we believe to be the left hand is actually supposed to be the right hand in the shot, which would make sense, but then we can also see that the mask is not burnt on the right-hand side, as it was in Halloween Kills. So, it's more likely that this was intentional, and meant to hint to keen viewers that there might not be just one, but 2 killers this time. Did you notice that Laurie is wearing the exact same outfit she wore in the original movie? Laurie might not be the same girl she was in the original 1978 Halloween movie, but she's dressed the exact same. In the 76-second teaser, we're first shown what seems to be Michael's POV as he enters the house, which we also assume to be Laurie's new house after her last one burned down. Michael opens a door to reveal a fully armed and prepared Laurie Strode, lying in wait. What's interesting is that she's wearing the same blue button-up top she wore when she first fought Michael in the original movie. Considering that this will be the last movie in the franchise, where will we see the final epic battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers that we've all been waiting for? It's pretty nice to get an homage to the absolute beginning at what essentially is the absolute end. And finally, that garbage disposal scene was an homage to H2O. If there's one thing that the Gordon Green trilogy has in common, it's that they all contain Easter eggs that pay homage to the original films. And this trailer is no different. At 76 seconds, it's not very long, but it's riddled with nods to the original films that some fans might miss if they don't pay enough attention. We've pointed out the POV shot of what is supposedly Michael, the house, and Laurie's outfit, but did that garbage disposal scene ring any bells? Near the end of the trailer, Michael manhandles Laurie, forcing her towards a garbage disposal for what could be an incredibly gruesome way to go out. Thankfully, Laurie fights back and escapes from his grip, but that garbage disposal scene was a tribute to a similar scene in H2O, where a character Charles is killed by Michael Myers. Honestly, Halloween can't come soon enough. Now, moving on to other news. First up, Jamie Lee Curtis has been cast for Disney's Haunted Mansion film. In 2023, Disney will be releasing a horror film, The Haunted Mansion, and guess who's been cast to play the psychic Madame Leota? None other than our Halloween franchise star, Jamie Lee Curtis. Considering she's a veteran in dangerously horrifying scary movies, having finally finished filming the final film for Halloween, she's the perfect fit. Note that this film is inspired by the popular theme park ride at Disney, and will not be a remake of the 2003 Eddie Murphy film that has the same name. Jamie will be acting alongside Morbius star Jared Leto, who will be voicing the Hatbox Ghost. The movie will definitely be family-friendly though. It will follow a young woman named Gabby, played by Rosario Dawson, and her young son, played by Chase Dillon, as they move to New Orleans in search of a better life, only to find out they moved into a haunted house. And it only gets better. Desperate for help, they contact a priest, Owen Wilson, who in turn enlists the aid of a widowed scientist turned failed paranormal expert, Lakeith Stanfield, a French Quarter psychic, Tiffany Haddish, and a crotchety historian, Danny DeVito. Interesting. And Andy Matichak says filming opposite Michael Myers can sometimes be traumatizing. Andy Matichak plays Allison Nelson in Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy, who is the granddaughter of Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode. Halloween Ends will be the third and final time she appears with Michael Myers, played by Nick Castle. So although it's not the first time she's acted alongside him, it's still just as terrifying. According to Matichak, she absolutely loves the movie and how Gordon Green has handled it. But the practical effects that Chris Nelson does are so incredibly realistic that it can sometimes actually be pretty terrifying. Matichak is definitely telling the truth. The current Halloween trilogy has racked up quite a body count in so many diverse and yet gruesome ways. It's hard to imagine anyone not being affected, especially when Matichak's character has seen so much death and violence already, from losing her father to her boyfriend to even her own mother. It seems it stays with her even after the filming is done. And lastly, Blumhouse wants to remake in the same manner as Halloween. As the Halloween franchise approaches its finale, Blumhouse's CEO Jason Boom has expressed his interest in remaking the classic horror movie, The Exorcist, in a unique way. Specifically, he wants to give it the same treatment that they did for Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills 2021, and Halloween Ends 2022. In an interview with Variety, Bloom has stated that they're ready to remake The Exorcist, but just like they did with Halloween, they want to make it in a way that's fresh and worth revisiting, and also that it's different enough that it's not just a repeat of the original movie, and people will be happy they revisited and remade it. Considering how well they did Halloween, we have faith they'll do The Exorcist justice and give it an interesting new spin. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think that was actually Michael Myers in the trailer, or is it an imposter? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.